Hey kids, welcome back to Guitar Quackery Live. See, I almost forgot to uh, connect my mic to the transmitter. Yeah. Okay, so here we are. We're back. And we have on the bench some tools. Let me show you the tools first. So Guitar Quackery Live. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to send a link to the customer. Guitar Quackery Live is the one and only. So hold on a second. I got a text message from someone. So yeah, so Guitar Quackery Live is the one and only live streaming guitar repair channel on the internet, on YouTube. Look at this. Send a link to the customer so he can watch this now. But I apologize. I need to check another text message that just came in. So let me type back a message. Someone booked an appointment, is asking if tomorrow is possible. Unfortunately not. It was not on the calendar. He might write back, so we might be interrupted a little bit. All right, let me put this back here. I think he's writing back. No, not yet. Okay. All right, let me put this back here. And let me show you what I got on the bench. So if you are a guitar repair technician, I recommend, I think the text message just came back. Well, Dr. Aficionado is already here. So he said, I booked, see you by 6 p.m. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. So I have, well, let me show you what I got today. Yeah. So he keeps sending fragmented messages. I think he's typing and hitting the return key. Yeah, so here we have this thing on the bench. This is a set of 115 drill bits. Here I have a couple of bridge plates, and we'll need these jigs later. Well, one of them we only need. Now, this is the size that we'll need, 3/16 of an inch. I'm sure there's a metric equivalent, but it should really be this size because of the way the strings are made. So yeah, so this is a set of all fractional drill bits, and then you have here, I guess these are fractional, and these are whatever, by gauge number, and then these are by alphabetical, whatever that signifies, I don't know. But that's the one we need, 3/16 of an inch. And I will show you why. So we have, so these are bridge plates. I have these as samples to see, to show the customer how we could repair these string holes, pinholes. And that's the drill bit that fits through, right? Now the string goes through this way. That's why it needs to be this size, because as you can see, that's the size that fits the ball end of the string. And then when we put a pin, we put a pin like this. Hold on. Like this, okay? This is what we want to see on the inside. Okay, so when these get enlarged, when the holes get enlarged, these ball ends of the strings get sucked in. And when that happens, we see that, let me push this out. First of all, this part of the string is showing up at the top, and also you see that the bridge pins are damaged like this, because this happens when the ball end of the string and the pin together are trapped inside of a narrow passageway, right? A little hole, right? And then in this case, it's also difficult to pull the bridge pin out of the hole. Yeah, you try to pull it out, but you can't pull it out because the ball end of the string is also trapped inside. So what we did on the, so this is a one repair option, to drill out, here you can see it better, to drill out, hollow out all the holes, plug it, and then re-drill it. But this is aggressive. We want to do this only as a last resort. So on the bridge plate that we have on the Guild guitar, we had minor damage. We just wanted to patch it a little bit. I used this wood filler, and this hardens really hard. Here I have a sample, so this is really, really hard now. And those holes are plugged, and now we are just going to re-drill them like that. And that's it. That's what we are going to do right now. So let me put this away. And put this away. And let's do some drilling. Oh, and by the way, I have these backing plates. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. I have these backing plates. So this backing plate was already used once. You see the 6 holes. So we can use the other side. We place it like this so that when we drill through, we don't get a bunch of blowout, right? So we have a plate to protect the surface when we drill through. So we're going to drill a little bit into the plate, but I'll use the other side. I made a couple, you know, so whichever one, and that's the one we used for clamping. I can't use this because it's got these 2 holes. This was the top clamping call for the bridge, and this is the inside, okay? So we can't use this, but we'll use one of those. Okay. Now let's put this away. Let's put the guitar on the bench. So now we know what we're doing, and then we can just put the strings on the guitar. The guitar's right here. This guitar will be ready by maybe even by the end of the day. I want it to be ready by Saturday. Customer's going to come pick it up on Saturday, he said. And he's traveling. First he said on the 9th, now he says on the 10th of June. We're in June 2025. Just in case you're watching a replay in the future. Okay. I first need to install this backing plate. So I'll do it this way. So I need something to support the backing plate where I put it here. Yeah, let's just try to use this one. Okay, let me see if it fits. Yeah, it's okay. So I need something to support it. Perhaps I'll just use the scissor jack. I can use this cable. like that, so I can turn it from the outside. And I also need one sound hole clamp just to assist me in the process. Okay. This isn't too complicated, maybe just a little tricky. But, oh yeah, and why don't we remove the saddle? So it's just tight, it isn't glued in, obviously. So that's our saddle. We'll place it here. I think we can place this inside now. Let me see. Yeah, maybe. And now I'm going to use this clamp to hold this backing plate from the outside. I'm not even going to clamp it. I'm just holding it like that. And now I place the scissor jack right there. And okay, I'm turning that cable. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's see. I think it's hugging everything nicely. Maybe I just tighten it a little more. That's it. We can. It's a good idea. So once I did that, and I still had blowout a long time ago when I was little, I learned my lesson. So I am going to just take a peek on the inside. We have the equipment, we might as well use it, because if I get any kind of blowout now, you know, we need to redo the whole thing. So in order to save time, we just spend a little more time now, and then we know everything will be fine. And like I said, we have the equipment, so we might as well use it. It gets dark inside, so I can remove this cable, I think. Or maybe not. Let's keep the cable here for now. Okay. Okay. That's that. Okay, so now I'm going to use my phone. Okay. We have this on the inside. So we see the scissor jack on the inside. I need to switch to the side view, the side camera. Okay, so that's the side view. Okay, you can see that the jack is resting on the back brace, And now we want to just examine the bridge plate and the backing plate there. So good, there's no gap. And in here, I can see I don't see any gaps. So I think we're good. And another thing that I want to check is that we don't see the pinholes. See, I'm kind of worried about this brace. You know, that dark line is kind of worrying me. But I already examined that. It's in one of the previous live streams. Now, since we're here, I want to examine it again. And, you know, there is no gap. So I'm using a feeler gauge to see if I can fit it between the brace and the soundboard. And no, it doesn't fit. I did examine all that. More than once, actually. And let's see on the other side if there's a hole showing. There isn't. Okay, so no string holes or pinholes, whatever you want to call them, are showing, which means we're good. Okay, so we can unplug this now. Okay. And I can remove the cable. Okay. And now we'll do the drilling. Yeah, like I said, it's a really good idea to check. Now, if you don't have an endoscope, you can just check with a feeler gauge, like I was checking the brace, although there might be a little gap there because it's not such a tight fit as a brace that's actually glued on, obviously. So like I said, we'll be using the 3/16 of an inch drill bit. If you do use metric, I don't know what the metric equivalent would be, but the hole needs to be just right. It can't be too big, it can't be too small. That's all I can tell you. Okay. I'll put my phone here, and like that. All right, that should be good. Okay, so we need to drill straight down. We do need to make sure that it's tight enough, not too tight, but tight enough, so that nothing moves. It is tight enough, I hope. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse drill a little bit first, like this, in reverse, just so that the drill bit finds its sweet spot, and then I'll reverse it. I just click this, and then I'll drill in the clockwise direction. So let's start, well, let's start with this one. So reverse, slow. And now clockwise. Yeah, the small vacuum cleaner here. Let's continue. I think we're good. Yeah, this is not MDF, okay? So we drilled into the MDF backing plate for sure. Okay. And we do the same thing here. Okay, I see MDF. I think we're good. All right. So I can't make too much noise because this is the work day here, and they're talking over there in the office. But hopefully my vacuum cleaner, this one, won't make too much noise for 2 seconds. This is a new one that I just bought. I had a big one before. It was driving me nuts. So let's do this very quickly. That's it. Okay. Now let's remove the backing plate. So loosening the jack there, backing plate. Okay, we see 6 holes, so we know we're good. I can kind of put a light like this, and we see that the light is shining through, and I'm kind of examining these holes. Okay. Now, I just realized that I put away the endoscope, so I guess it would be nice to have a visual, to do a visual inspection, but I'm just kind of using my finger, old school. So, the way they did it before endoscopes were invented, I just inspected it, and it feels fine. Yeah, just with my finger, because, you know, luthiers, right? They always like to touch a little bit. So, for the metric equivalent, 3/16 of an inch, you would need a 4.7625 millimeter drill bit. Yeah. So, you know, these these guitars were developed in America. So I think the ball ends of the strings were developed in America, right? Historically. So we have these measurements. And that's all good. You know, in aviation, they talk about feet, you know, even if the rest of the world is metric. But it's just because they don't want to confuse the issue, right? So they all communicate using the same language, all the pilots and air traffic controllers, etc. Yeah, I personally think the metric system is better and easier, but I don't mind doing things in inches on guitars. This is an American guitar, right? So it was built in inches. Now we're not done yet. So before we can install the strings, we need to ream out the holes with a reamer. So I have a few reamers, and I guess we'll be using these two, and I have more. So let me show you. And let's talk about this. So I have, this is more like a hardware store reamer, but it's one that hasn't been used on like, you know, rough stuff. I only use it on guitars. And this is, you know, an actual nice luthier reamer. Quite expensive, and this is the cheap one. So this has razor sharp blades. It has 3 flutes, 1, 2, 3, no, 4 flutes, 4 blades, razor sharp. These are not razor sharp, you see? But this might be better to just clean out the junk, because I don't necessarily want to cut into the wood, but I want to clean out the junk from the what is it called? Wood filler, but without enlarging the holes. So we'll see. I have both of them ready, and we just want to gently. It's so easy to cut too deep, okay, to enlarge the hole too much. It's very easy to make that mistake. And here I'm not even pushing down, I'm just letting gravity do its thing. And obviously we need the pins. Now these are the original ones, right? So we are going to, and that's the saddle. We're going to use a set of pins. Let me see which ones. So they're kind of like generic size. I want to grab one of those D'Addario. They make actually really good pins, D'Addario. As you can see, it's got a tapered tip. That's exactly what you need. Okay, so let's see how deep it fits. Yeah, I don't want to do too much. Like I said, I just want to clean up the hole a little bit. Now, if I had to do actual cutting, then I would be using this reamer. But I guess not today. So here we have, it looks like the glue from the glue squeeze out when we were regluing the bridge. We might want to use some water to soften that up. Now, on old guitars like this, or when you do these kind of repairs, it might be difficult to maintain the right size of the hole. So if we end up enlarging the holes, we have a solution. We can use oversized bridge pins. So this is the standard size. Oversized ones are, well, oversized. And potential spam again, all day long. Look at that. Potential spam. Let me block the call. I think this number called a few times today. Yeah. How do I block this number again? Block, caller. Boom. Annoying. It's like it became normalized, Oh, it's, today's first spammer calling me. How can that be normal? We shouldn't accept it as, normal. Well, I'm just going to clean out with a Q-tip. There's maybe a little bit of what was it called? I was using modeling clay left. modeling clay is not really water soluble, but whatever. The Q-tip is rubbing it off. Now here we have on the other two, on the outside holes, we do have some wood filler, right? Because they were serviced after the bridge reglue. Okay, I think we're good. So I didn't have to do much reaming this time. All right, and now next we are going to install the strings. After we install the strings, we can work on the nut. And I guess I will start a separate live stream for that. So I marked off the base side. Who's going inside? Oh yeah, I might need to cut these a little bit deeper. Okay, there's a little modeling clay here still left. So I might need to cut these a little bit deeper. Let's see, all right? I am first going to put a sacrificial pack of strings. So a cheaper pack. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to use good strings. So those are the Dario, non-coated, just to work on the nut, just to kind of test the guitar, do as much of this setup as possible, or needed, or possible, or both. I want to tighten the truss rod just a little bit. Just a little bit before they put the strings on. Let me just check. All right, don't need that. So, where are we? Okay, here. So I can't remember if it's now completely loose. Yeah, pretty much. So just tighten it a little bit. And I'm going to check. I want to have maybe a slight back bow at this point. So we don't have a back bow because the straight edge is flexing in the middle, right? So it's touching here and there. So I'll just tighten the truss rod a little more until I get a slight back bow. Okay, cool. Obviously, we are going to make the final adjustment later. And I need a pack of bridge pins. Here. Or do I have temporary bridge pins? Let me see if I have for testing. Because maybe I should discuss with the customer what color he wants, etc. Yeah, I think I could put together a set of almost 4 or 5, one more. Okay, cool. So I don't need to open a pack now. So let's put the strings on, then let's take a short break, and then let's work on the knot. So that's a zip lock, but I always cut it because it's actually kind of annoying to pull the strings out through the open zipper. They always get stuck. Yeah. So sometimes what I like to do, and I guess I will do it now, is this. So these bridge pins, they don't have that tapered tip. And I'm going to do just this. Hold the string like this. And just give it a little bend in this direction. And hold it in this orientation. So now when I put it inside, the tip of the pin doesn't hit the ball, right? Like that. So I do have an appointment at 6. So I need to plan this out so that we're not interrupted, so this live stream doesn't get interrupted when the customer comes at 6. So I might take a longer break from this guitar and just work on another guitar while I'm waiting for the customer to come. Most likely. Which is fine, actually, because I kind of like the idea of letting the guitar sit at full string tension first, and then let it settle, and then start doing the work. Even if it really doesn't, it doesn't affect the knot at all. But yeah, it's better for the setup. Okay. I don't really like these tuners. There's no height left on the tuning posts. I don't know if these are the original ones, but the string hole is basically all the way at the bottom. I don't know why it's like that. So these are not the right tuners for this guitar. So you can see right there, If we can focus. So the string hole is all the way at the bottom. So now that's the high E string. Now here, the B string is better. The low E is bad. Okay, so, I can't I can't put the string through and then wrap it underneath. I guess the headstock is a little thicker here than here. Yeah, whatever. So let me figure this out. These are not the right tuners for this guitar. I'll just do the best I can. So on this one, I need to top wrap it. Wow, okay. That didn't really work out. So I'll remember that. So when I put the good strings on, to be honest, I would just recommend changing these tuners. Okay, so I couldn't really top wrap it. I don't know. I'll figure this out. Okay, it's good for now. These are the sacrificial strings. Let's see how the high E fits. I don't always put the strings on the same way on every guitar. Here, I'm just doing the simple over-under technique without locking the string. These are just the sacrificial strings. I want to be able to remove them easily, so no need to lock the string. They'll be on just for the job. Oops. The camera is pointing in the wrong direction. I didn't realize. Okay. So what we want to see now is we want to make sure that the nut is too high, right? That's what we're hoping to see so that we can file it down. And yeah, plenty of space. The toner is a little bit stiff. Why can't I get it? So let's adjust the truss rod. Okay. See what we got. Yeah, it's almost there, actually. So just a little tighter. Okay, just a little tighter. And now, yeah, I can see that the strings are too high, which is what we wanted to see at this point. So here we just look at the shadows. Hold on. The reflections or shadows, whatever. You can see that there's too much space on all of them. Right? because I just installed a new nut. So next thing, I'm going to let it sit so the guitar will settle. You know, we'll get the proper soundboard deflection by tomorrow, I guess. Neck relief. But we can work on the nut later today. I mean, we can work on it now, except I need to make sure that we don't get interrupted because I have an appointment at 6. So I'm going to do something else in between. Okay, so that's it. All right, so friends, I am going to log off. So if you feel that you got any value from this live stream, just make sure you click the right buttons. And I will see you soon, maybe.